Hi friends and welcome back to the V's. Today's video is going to be a wrist stretch combined with some wrist strengthening exercises that was requested by one of my closest friends. Today we're really going to try to focus on the wrist joint as well as the forearm so we can really create that strength that you need when doing yoga workouts or any other type of workouts that require the balance and strength on the wrist joint. Remember, it takes a lot of practice and patience to create that strength, so by repeating those exercises, you will reach your goal. The only thing you might need to use today for this video is the use of a stress ball. If you like these videos, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel because it really helps support me. Thank you so much for joining, and so if you're ready, grab your mat, grab your stress balls, and let's get started. Alright friends, we're gonna get started today by sitting down at the mat on our shins. We're gonna extend our arms to the side, and we're gonna switch by facing our palms up in the sky and down to the floor, and switch an up and down, up and down, up and down. We are giving a really nice stretch, really nice warm up to the wrists. Feeling our forearms starting to burn, and keep going a few more repetitions. Alright, and for the next exercise, keep your arms still stretched and start opening and closing your fingers. Still working on that strength for the wrist, for the forearm, even the shoulders. Open and close and open and close. A few more reps, keep going. We're really building that strength in the wrist. Alright, and now let's do forward circles. Still warming up the wrist joint, warming up the fingers and the forearms. And switch directions. Let's do it backwards. Very nice. Alright, and now I'm gonna demonstrate an exercise that we can do with or without a dumbbell. So imagine if you were holding a dumbbell and you were going from straight to upwards, straight to upwards. So really building that strength on the wrist and the forearm. Keep in mind here, the arms are extended at shoulder height and our palms are facing up in the sky. Alright, awesome work guys. Let's shake it out. Shake out your wrists. I really love this exercise. It's one of my favorites to do after planks or any type of arm balance that requires strength in the wrists. It really helps to loosen up the wrist joint. Alright, let's shake it a little bit more to loosen up. And then for the next exercise, what you're going to do is you're going to extend your right arm forward. You're going to point your fingers down to the floor and apply a little bit of pressure with your left arm. Just gently pushing down the wrist, giving it a nice warm up. This is a great stretch I always do before and after any exercises that require the wrist. And let's switch hands. Let's do the same thing on the other wrist. And the same kind of stretch, but now we're pushing the palm out. So the fingers are still facing down to the floor, but the palm is reversed. And apply a little bit of pressure with the opposite hand. And switching arms, same thing, fingers pointing down, the palms facing the screen. Really nice stretch. And now let's do the same thing but point the fingers upwards. So your palm is facing towards the screen but the fingers are up. Applying a little bit of pressure with the opposite arm. Really warming up that wrist and the forearm. Switch hands. Same thing on the other wrist. Alright, awesome job. Now the wrist should be a little bit warmed up. Let's shake it out. And we're soon going to find our tabletop position by placing the wrists down on the floor and coming onto our knees. And we're going to do a little bit more stretching for the wrists by rocking gently back and forth. feeling that stretch on the inside of the forearm, the wrist, and the top of your palm. Make sure your fingers are extended and they're pressing down on the floor. We want the whole palm to be pressing down on the floor. And gently rocking back and forth onto our sits bones and then forward. Make sure your shoulder is passing in front of your wrist. Very nice stretch. Warming up the wrist joint, the forearm, the fingers. Make sure you're pressing down through your index finger and your thumb. Alright, now let's extend the fingers to the side, same tabletop position. Hands are open, shoulder width apart, and let's rock from side to side, left to right, gently. Still pressing down through all the fingers. Just go as far as it's comfortable for you. No need to pressure too much. We don't want to injure the wrists, we just want to give them a little nice warm-up. Moving from left to right gently, breathing in and out at the same time. Alright, and now we're gonna switch directions. So rotate your wrists so that the fingers are pointing towards the knees and the wrists are pointing towards the screen, and still rock back and forth gently. This is a more intense stretch, so go as far as you can, making sure that the palm of your hand is not lifting off the floor when you go backwards. Doesn't matter how far back you go, the only thing we want is to feel that stretch along the wrist and the forearm. And keep going, a few more repetitions. Still pushing down through all of the fingers, keeping your elbows extended. Moving back and forth and breathing in and out. Alright, very nice. And now let's place the top of the palm down on the floor. Both arms down. If this is a little difficult, you can do one arm at a time. Elbows are extended, pressing down gently. Don't put all of your weight on your wrists. This is just a little stretch. We just want to feel a really nice sensation that's not painful. And stay, count your breaths. Maybe rotate your elbows in and out to feel some type of movement in the wrist. Alright, super nice job guys. And let's do the same thing, but let's do one arm at a time. This will allow us to put maybe a little bit more pressure on that one arm to feel more of the sensation. But again, not pressuring too much because we don't want to injure the wrist. If you did one arm before, just switch arms and do the other one. And breathing in and out. Allowing the breath to flow into that muscle, flow into that joint, and release any tightness, any tension. And let's switch to the other arm. Allow the oxygen of breathing in to go to the part of the body where you feel the sensation. Allow it to flow to the wrist, to the forearm, releasing any tightness, any stress from the joint. Alright, amazing. And now let's do a little stretch. I like to put on my fists and press them down on the floor. Squeeze through the fingers. Strong fists here. Pressing down on the floor. creating strength for the wrist and the forearm. Really make sure you engage here. And let's do one more strengthening exercise. Come into a plank position. Make sure you're pressing down the floor through your entire palm, all the fingers, the index and the thumb finger. And let's rock gently back and forth by allowing our shoulders to come off in front of our wrists and coming to our tippy toes and then pressing back. Really engage your core here, your shoulders. You'll feel the stretch in the wrists, strengthening of the forearms, your carpals. Very nice. And let's come down. And now let's take the stress balls. If you have one, you can do one hand at a time, but I like to just take them and squeeze the fingers. This way, we can strengthen the wrist, strengthen the fingers and the palms, and really create that endurance that we need for exercises like planks, handstands, or any types of arm balances in yoga. We can do the same thing by extending the arms to the side. Keep squeezing. Breathing in. And very nice, let's shake it out. Let's do some rollings of the wrists by interlacing the fingers together and just rolling from side to side. And you can switch directions. Very nice, keep breathing in and out. Still rolling our wrists. And our final exercise is to stretch out our fingers. So we're going to do this one by one. First in the right hand, stretching all the fingers one by one by pressing back. And then in the left arm, all the fingers one by pressing back with the opposite hand. And now let's do the 4 fingers. So take the 4 left fingers and press them back with the right arm. Same with the thumb. Press it gently backwards. And the right hand side now. Press back with the left fingers. And now let's press our right thumb backwards. Gently. Feeling a nice stretch through the whole hand. Very nice, and let's roll it out a little bit more. And this is it. Good job, guys. We're done with wrist strengthening and stretching. Thank you so much for joining me, and I can't wait to see you next time in the next video.